all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work podcast, where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for tuning in today. You know, I have a question for you, which is something that this time of year, I start to look at what my motivators are. What are my goals for next year? You know, the quarter four, or Q4, if you will, is coming to a close. And, you know, most of us that are in business or a business setting, you're trying to close books if you're a calendar year, or is mid-year if you're doing some other type of accounting purposes, if you will. And so some of us are taking a step back and paying attention to what our stats look like, or where our goals have been, and have we been able to reach where our quotas are and things like that. So for me, you know, right now I am taking a look at, and I'm going to use this podcast for an example. I'm taking a look at the stats and who I have reached and what's been going on for me. And last year, if you recall, one of my goals was to reach 100 episodes. And at this particular time, it does not seem as though I'm going to reach 100 episodes. But that will always be a motivational tool for me to use as my basis of some of my goals or goal setting moments. See, when I first started out as a podcaster, I had never imagined getting to 100 episodes. That was a mid-season goal of mine. I like, hey, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. I am going to find something for me to reach. Now, this is in 2022. Granted, this year, season 4, that was in season 3. And I thought that was a very hefty goal. It was. And I did not reach episode 100 until the last day of the year. But I was still able to get to that point. My question to you today, what is your motivator? What do you use as a motivational tool that can serve as a stretch goal, that can stretch you out, if you will, get you out of your box? You know, something that will challenge you to get to a target, that will inspire a greater sense of purpose for you. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. Maybe, you know, again, you know, you're working and your manager is asking for you. So for me, being in customer service for a period of time in my corporate America career, the goal was to maybe get to anywhere between 70 and 80 calls a day. And, we had some change in benefits. Again, you know that I used to work in an insurance company. So the phone calls were coming in were about the insurance benefits changing and what was going on with that or whatever. And I prided myself because of how backed up the queue was of not even just getting to 80 calls in a day, but it was also getting to almost handling 80 calls in an hour. That's a lot. Now, I didn't get to 80, but that was a goal of just emptying out the queue. Now, I didn't answer 80, right? I couldn't do it all by myself. It was a group of, maybe 15, 17 of us in that customer service space. And but anytime you would see that queue having 200 people in there and you're trying to answer calls while half of you are on lunch and the other half is on the call or whatever it is, what are you using as your motivational tool? Whether it was for the moment, i.e. that queue for me, whether it was a yearly goal because of what the department requirements were, and maybe you want to exceed that, if you will. Maybe it's a more personal goal of which most of us try, which is some type of health and fitness program. And, maybe it is something that from a business perspective, you would like to serve more people. A nonprofit, you would like to have more people that you serve this coming year. What is your motivational tool? And then the other part of that, in that motivation, is going that you're going to have to develop is your sense of dedication to that. Because as they talk about from people trying to hit health goals or fitness goals, a lot of people, they don't reach it. They don't achieve it because the first 30 days, 60 days, they'll stop. So by March or April, they've already stopped and given up and things like that. So this past year, for me, it wasn't about health or fitness, and it wasn't about bringing new clients. What it was for me this year, like last year, was to create shows or content, and achieve 100 episodes last year. Well, this year was a little different. I was able to reach to 100, but is that something that I wanted to do again? So this year I will reach 75, and most of you will. I hope that you enjoy what I'm doing that's outside of the box for me, and I've gotten a lot of support for this, which is my 21 days of business brilliance. What I have done, and most of you have supported me, of hearing all of my interviews and everything else for the year. You will be encouraged to hear the next, 21 individuals that I will be interviewing beginning on December the 1st. So what motivated me to get to this point? Because I had created a entrepreneur summit a few years ago. Some of you may know, some of you may remember, and that was a starting point for me to begin the idea of this 21 days of business brilliance. I didn't know what else to do. I was doing all these interviews. I'm like, hey, how do I challenge myself? So I had a few interviews in the back pocket, if you will. So now I need to put forth a lot more effort to interview individuals. Now, here's what I would like for you to understand. It's not easy for me to do that. I'm sort of an introvert, if you will. but because I want to provide you, my listeners, the greatest experience that I can provide, I did my research so I could pull as much out of the people that will be coming to you over the next month. I need each and every one of you to think outside the box. I don't care if it's a situation that you might have created in the past. How do you revise it? How do you make it something different that can become that motivating factor for you? So understand, I've given you two ideas, whether it's from your 9-to-5 perspective, what you're trying to achieve, whether it's a departmental goal, whether it's a personal goal within the job, even if you're an entrepreneur, and you've created something in the past, you could still use something like that as a motivation for today. I hope each and every one of you understand that we are striving to get a greater sense of purpose. We are trying to understand that we need to be sure that we have the right amount of dedication, and no one can give you that ladder, that scale of what is dedication. Is all dependent on you, your ideas, ideals, and what your goals are. So there's no secret sauce. It's just have to be a little more dedicated and or have a sense of commitment to achieving excellence. I thank you very much for listening today.
Thanks for listening. Find us on social media at Chisholm Group LLC and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work, or will it?
We all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once, and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.
Well, shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.